You are streaming. Alrighty. Let's just give it a few minutes, guys, and let people start loading in. Okay. Yeah, I'm starting to see numbers jump now. Okay, so here I am. Whoops. How did I do that? Crap, let me do that. Let me try to do this. There we go. Okay. I'll get rid of that. And I think it will show me if anybody's coming on. There's me live. And so what I like about this, you guys, I'm going to put me more over here. You're going to see where there's where I come in. So I can use this finger. I can use this finger. Kind of be nice to have a pencil with an eraser. I wonder if that would work. Anyway, so you see that red dot will probably be a helpful function. What if I go like that? Oh, then that's when I see. Hello, viewers. How's it going? Oh, I'm going to go like that. Now can we talk? Or now we can talk. Oh, there he is. Hey, Bengus, how you doing? Good to see ya. How's the life out there? Things growing well? Okay, that's off. Okay, so you see the style, Bengus? I don't know if you've ever used it, but basically I want to give some people a bit of a tour on my channel with some stuff I've been going through. So I'm going to focus here, and yes sir, gardening is going well. Right on. Okay, on this one right here, guys, I got bridges are crumbling down. Right on, going well for you. That's good. I'm going to just open it.
It's because of that thing I've been saying.
Hit pause here. And right in front of us, we get to see that cracking right there and stuff, right? Like right here. And what I'm showing you on this bridge is this right here is super specialty, even discovery work for seismic upgrading of this bridge. I'm in construction, been in it forever. I have a big history with it. I'm not so much in it now, but I mean, I'm still involved, you know, obviously, with what I'm having to do here. And in part how I know this, as you look throughout the whole bridge, I've been watching different seismic upgrades on that bridge where they weren't part of the same year seismic upgrade. They were an additional couple of years or whatever, which is pretty unusual for seismic upgrading to have to hit a bridge so much. And then they have this specialty spot here on this end. On the other, throughout the rest of it, they don't have it anywhere else or whatever. And part of the reason is because the other things that they've done are all failing. They're all showing bad signs. And it's part of what these beings are doing. They break things down. They're earthly beings that will help science understand this great question of where did all the trees come from? How did they get around the earth? Help scientists understand soil in so many realms, even different understandings of it. Coal, you know, is trees that are buried in a certain heat goes on and blang, they turn into a product that we can use as coal. And I'm trying to really press. I hate this part of it. Like on these stupid phones, they're always sideways and going this way and doing that. But yeah, you guys get enough there, what I said. Terrified to death. People that are at the bottom of the cliffs, like I talk about, and we figured they fell. And maybe even when the people are kind of finding them and stuff, they even have the feeling that this happened because this person was terrified. This is what I mean by terrified to death. Terrified enough that these noises and whatever, and the rattling and the snapping and the growl and whatever the function is at that time to terrorize you, Maybe it's just bang, 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 and it's just freaking this person out, and the only option is he's got to swim across that lake. He's trying to swim across that lake. I don't want to leave any marks on him, so I just pull him down with such ease or whatever type thing, because I can hold my breath for like 30 minutes or who knows. Am I 100% on that? I tell you, I really believe that. That will be options. And it's not because I just came up with that. It's because I first was coming up with ideas and function of their capabilities of hunting. And it was when I came across some seals on our Fraser River here, where they come all the way up the river from the ocean here. And hello there, Robert, how you doing? Post Silly, how you doing? You made it. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, how do I do that again? I push that. I'm going to just, I think you guys can continue talking, but I'm just going to let you guys talk, and I'm just going to move that out of the way so I can kind of see my screen here a bit. Whoops. Oh, that's what I did.
Disappeared. Hey guys, that was...
There we go. It's just really trippy. It adds a trippiness, this little picture. I'm going to put it on this side because I keep covering it, and that's weird, you know. So, I've been telling people that I don't agree with my audience size. I might sound like a whiner complainer, but I believe I stand in a place much on my own. And tonight I was on somebody else's channel just for a moment because it caught my eye, the name, how she titled it. So I went over there and I've seen a couple of trippy things that I know that she's not noticing to be aware of. So I left her a couple of comments to stimulate that part of her brain, because I find that if I, on the where we have to go, if I tell you, like I've told people and pointed out at times or whatever type thing, some people think they're fooled, I think. Some people will just believe, no, that's not that. That's just this. You're wrong. And meanwhile, I'll have other people that connect with that way of doing it. And I'll have other people that actually, I didn't even read my comments and directing them at or whatever, and they go towards there. Like one of the videos I'm going to bring up in this hour here, I got just under an hour, okay guys? So one of the videos I'm going to bring up is my first face-to-face. Let's go jump over to there first. So we're going to go to my library, and then actually I'll go up, hit that. Do you like my new little picture there? A beautiful leaf there and such. And I'm going to hit this. I got to make sure I don't do anything wrong. Give you guys all my my secrets. There's this bank information. What? $10 billion? You see this one right here? See that number? That number just beside that red dot there? 145K. It hasn't changed in a month. And that's sad. That's sad for me. That bothers me. I'm allowed to be bothered, I would think, and that bothers me. And it's not because of you. It's not just because of YouTube, but it has a lot to do with YouTube. It's not my fault they can't see skill. They don't see something. So obviously we would be able to listen to this whole video. Want to do that? Let's do that. So what you're getting throughout in these areas is right in this area where I'm covering right there is a good group. And all of a sudden I clue into something. I'm just like, And right as we walk past, right there in that center, that's why I kind of turned the camera there. So if you paused and stuff that dark area right there, let me just go back. Doink, doink, doink. We're learning some fancy stuff here, Tinman. So you see all that dark area, right? See where my red dot, just below my red dot, like that's a head of one right there. Okay, there's some back here, but there is also some dark log in it. Whoops. So right around right here is just a pallet. And I know behind that pallet area right there is empty space. I know it for sure, and it's not right now. It's got life right there. And then right in here, you got some guys going on in there. But this, what we get to see here, is nothing for what you're going to get to see when you watch the video here. I mean, when we do the good focusing in on what's going on in this exact spot. Probably they're around in there. Maybe I was holding it too long. I don't think it's my battery. No. Yeah, so let's go play. So right now I'm given space. I know there's something special going on there. I don't get it yet, but I just know it. Hear those functions in sound? Hear that build up? That is the camera reacting with, you know, maybe the infrared that people talk about. Maybe there isn't any sound there. Maybe it is only the camera that's saying the sound. But I've been in that situation now. Listen, let's listen to this sound again. And listen to the impulses of it and stuff. I've been in these sounds now where I know I hear them with my ears, but I do have a defect. You know, I have ear issues, but my ear issues 100% also help me. So there's a way that they've changed me from being the norm, but there's a way that they've brought me a little bit closer in some respects. And I think that is part of my success. I'm not saying anything about anybody else's success. I see people having success. But my success, because I think they've done different pulsations like that, where here, this is what we're here coming to, and they're going, and I'm just boom, 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 because it's not tweaking that certain level of hearing that most of us humans are running by. So let's just hear that noise. And you might be looking amongst in this the really fine of that small shrubbery there, and even saying, wow, I'm seeing a lot of little stuff in there. So feel free to say that. Did I already go past it? Sorry, I'm going to do this when we're done then. There we go. Actually, I hadn't even started to adjust, and it already happened. Did anybody notice that? You can hear me fidgeting with it like I'm trying to find the button, and it already did a couple of increases of that. So that's curious information. Very curious information. So now we're over here. Let's just jump to where I do my clue in sort of stuff. And then I'm going to jump forward to a really good focus. So right inside, right underneath me, right, I'm going to point the red dot above his head, okay? See that head back there? The red dot is just a little bit smaller than his head. You get it to the good pause. How's that sound? We're coming up to it. It's a few seconds away.
Hello?
Maybe I'll back it off a hair. Or maybe even a hair more. Let me just put on these specs and see if I can see it a little bit better so I can get it on a pretty good view for you. Oh yeah, that's a really nice focus. There we go. I'm glad I put those silly things on. You know, just the magnifying glasses. Okay. So right now I'm going to cover his head. Bango. Right there, his head is 100% covered by this red dot only. Down further, That other black clump, remember that clump. But right now we're just looking at the red dot. So now whoops. Hope I'm not. I think I'm okay. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm going to pull that up. See, I'm just kind of above his head. You get to see almost on his forehead, you see two sheens there almost right now, pointing downwards. Right there at the edge of my red dot and whiteness, because I believe you guys get to see the same thing. You get to see that stick on a bow like that, and you get to see it shining like that. So his head is like that, and that stick's like that, shining, and it's actually covering where his mouth would be. So directly above that stick, I'm going to just let between the stick and my dot, as long as it lines up perfectly with you guys, is where his nose actually is, right there. And I bring it up a little bit more, and I kind of put the red dot, yeah, where you can see both of his eyes there. And they're like a teardrop kind of similar, you know it, shape. Over here you get to see some cheekbone. I'm coming down around, like say if I was on, okay, I'm going to do that. You know where this corner is right here, you guys? There's a corner on this side, and there's a corner on this side, okay? So this corner right here is going to follow around this of his head, okay? I'm going to follow that corner all the way around so you can understand that. And then maybe what I'll do is I'll go up here and maybe, I'm just going to figure out where I'm going to start from. Okay, so I'm right at the peak of his head right now. Oops, sorry about that black thing up there. Anyway, so I'm coming around his cheekbone, going down his cheekbone. Now I'm around where his beard line and chin would be. And so I almost came straight down to the center of his chin there. So now if I'm back at the top of his head again with that same corner there, and I'm coming around, you can see the bulge part of his forehead, eye kind of socket stuff. I think we get to make that out pretty good there. And then right there would be his nose under it, but then back out to the side of the head, there's the side of the head, and there's the big jawline, so on and so forth like that. And at times, I believe what you get to see is, now let's continue using that corner. What comes down here may be big uncle, big father sitting here, you know, say behind the red dot right now, bam, that might be his head. But this is a pile of Bigfoot. It is a pile of Sasquatch. It is a pile of some kind of beings. You can see, you can come around different spots. Maybe right there, there's a two-eyed little weirdy looking kind of thing going on right there. Anyways, what I believe comes around is maybe the big guy's arm wrapping his shoulder, or maybe that's his wife or something. And I believe, you see those lines right there we get to see? I think his hand, the big guy's, that might be his hand there on top of another guy's head right there. You see those two eyes right at the bottom of my circle? So that's pretty interesting. And then there's another guy right here. But none of them get to ever be as clear as that guy is right there in this shot. So maybe somebody has seen one. I haven't studied. What I've studied the most is just this guy we're looking at right there in the middle. See what I see? It looks like almost finger slits, like between...
Hello? Okay.
Gonna do it a little bit more. So you can study... Whoops. Hang on, knock down my camera.
Hello?
See that now? See that twinkle? That is a twinkle now. Let me go back. I like that.
Hello?
I was always challenged with that before, whether it's a real twinkle or not. Right
Hello?
now. Right now. Now, see that? I sometimes thought it was a stick. But I actually think it's a twinkle now.
Okay.
So what do we do? There we go. Bam. There we go. I got
nice.
Figured out better. I'll get rid of that talking, man. Am I ever... You know, I've had to put up with a lot of listening to my own voice. It's not always the most enjoyable. I'm sure everybody knows, will agree with that. So I'm giving some pretty good deal there. I'm talking about a little bit of concrete stuff. I'm talking about being terrified to death. I'm showing you that Bigfoot thing there. And then I'm going to bring you down here. to this one right here. This is just a little cutout of another. I don't even need to have the volume on anymore. So, where are we here? 8 seconds. So what you're looking at there is what people have to start having some faith in themselves to be able to do. Let's see if I can find a good, kind of a nice focus for us or something. Is people going to start having this answer for a lot of people who are out there looking. They will still continue. There's a lot of people out there who get no real inkling of what's going on. No really real understanding, but they're willing to put in a lot of time out there and so on and so forth. Where was I going with that? I don't know, but these glasses are driving me insane. So anyways, let's see. What did I want to say here? Okay, I'm going to pause here. Okay, so when you get into this stuff, you have to be willing to think to yourself, damn camera, willing to think to yourself with some of this imaging, like on these sides, out in branches, and so on and so forth, really are worth scoping out. All this here, if you're have a half decent camera, phone, whatever you're looking at, TV, right up there, you know, start realizing that you're fooling yourself if you think that is nothing. Now, if you think that is just root-based color, then look at the tree that's right beside it that really is also root-based colored tree. You know, if you're a type of person that has one of these glasses, like that, it's a really good item because you turn around and I can come on here and I can put it right on the screen and then I in and out with my eye, closer and not. And the amount of information this piece of glass starts to tell you is a lot more. You know, decide for yourself with this, my channel, or any of the other people that are either trying to show you something or think they are or whatever. Try to wean it out if you want. What's that right there? Is that two eyes looking at us right below the red dot there? Huh? So then you go like this and you keep push and play and you memorize where that spot is. And if I come across it twice, you can see if there's an actual change. You have to look. Like I could see some of that stuff over there being very interesting. Oops, in the big back pile, that guy that's near the top there, that right there I find kind of interesting. Whoops. My son, so yeah. But I'm telling you right now, if I just show you a whole bunch of still pictures and maybe a little this and that and even videos of them and so on and so forth. See up here in the trees, whoops, up here in the trees and stuff. Lots of times, branches 100% do show all this. So do not be fooled to think that all that is them. But when you come across that big pile that's over in the corner over there, they're always in big groups. And they'll have a certain amount treed during the day and stuff. And I believe that, and I believe it's about keeping an eye on lots of things. And they know the difference between a policeman. They're going to know, and a fireman. They're going to know that the policemen carry guns and the firemen don't carry guns. They're going to know the difference between their trucks. They know differences between their jobs to whatever extent that they do. Do they know differences between their paperwork? I doubt it. Okay, so let's do this really awesome one then, guys. And then after we do this next really awesome one, Actually, where's that 12-minute guy right here? Yeah, I know I did a lot of black and white ones, but, there's a lot of work to, I must have been up here. There it is. So, yeah. Volume. Now I'm sitting on the road here. It's where I camp. Just sitting there on the road. He's about
What? What?
Yeah, started getting to a point like, holy shit, is he gonna quit? Seems almost like he's getting mad. I don't want to come up and start nipping at me.
Why can't I be here?
This is how I teaching my children. My daughter is telling me she's going camping. Both of my daughters going camping this weekend.
What am I doing wrong?
I don't like it. It scares me, but I teach them how to deal with these situations. I send them these videos and say, use this kind of courage and see what kind of response you get. I don't suggest
I hear you.
standoff like this for them. And naturally how they would be going with their girls, their friends or whatever, and they'd be backing off.
What is it?
See, I'm trying to test them a bit.
Look at the stars.
And whatever's going on here I say two things, basically. A pet coyote for them, or it's one of them that can mimic that good, because it's good vocalization, I think.
It's okay.
Till maybe it comes into that point, like, I know guys that are unbelievable hunters. See, and there's certain, instead of, yep, the yelping and stuff. So there's certain guys that would be able to go, no, there's something up with that one. Maybe he's got dog in him or whatever. Maybe some guys would start saying some stuff, right? But so that is, I would imagine, pretty phenomenal. I'm going to do this where I get to adjust down my brightness. There we go. I'm sure that doesn't affect you guys. This is a pretty cool video with all those different patterns in there, but let's do this. I'm going to do this again and go over here. Go over here. What am I thinking of? Okay, large map. Oh boy, I'm kind of lost with it. Must be up here still. Maybe it doesn't have as big as a count as I thought it would be. So let's just go in here. Jump forward up to... This is one of those really cool times. So this is me and you might end up, you viewers are watching now might be just going, holy cow, what, like that, right? This is my 21 days with Bigfoot story that I many times talk about. And this happens to be day 19 and my third interaction. And this is a one that I put 100% stamp on it for what goes down here. But it's kind of interesting. Yeah, I think we're just coming into the area here now. I don't think I've finished saying it.
Which is very nice.
Oh, no, right here then. I'm going to go.
So you see something dark. You see something behind it there, right? You start to just examine its surroundings and try to figure out if you think that is a log or not. Like, I already think that is just a log. Like, how close it is, and like it's just some kind of dark material.
Watch I scroll.
No.
Okay. Remember, one thing about me is I always use, I was going to take a pointer and start pointing for you, but I always try to use, I like to use the center as most of my viewing. So in other words, sometimes you might get that, oh, is that ever looking beautiful? I'm loving something right now. So this time right here, guys, at 2:47 in the video. So anyways, or so like in that my first face experience there, his main thing is right around there, the most of the viewing. This guy, I'm really good with getting him really centered quite a bit. So right now, right off the bat, because there's some good viewing in here that I'm liking, I might be seeing it or not. But anyways, yeah, let me just stick with what I see here in the middle. So what we get to see here, where I'm totally on his head, and his head is as big as this. You get to see, remember where my red dot is there? You get to see this side of a fern right there. And you see another one right here. That's a peace sign. I refer to that as here's one, here's the other one. It's a peace sign. And what I talk about a lot is his snout. See that black dot I'm kind of putting into that one corner on the right side? That is his snout on top and his mouth. This right there, that black line there is his eye pits, and that gray line I'd say is his eyebrow. This thing up here on top, as you're watching it and stuff, it's actually his right hand, and that's probably his index finger right on the very top in my same little corner right for the newbies. There's a corner right there that I'm using, the red ball and my big ball here. There's the corner there, so I'm using that as a reference spot for giving you. So right there would be near the tip of the finger, and then the finger comes back like that. And put your right hand on your head, and on your head pointing backwards, and realize your index finger is on that, it's on that side. And then this would be other parts of his hands, and you can figure that out for yourself. I'm just showing you in this one in particular position. And then, so now using that same corner on this side, we're going to come kind of down where the back of his head is. He's a hairy guy, just like the plants make it hard for us to really see through them well. What people think is maybe going invisible or something like that. All it is